Hey everyone, my name is Chris. Firstly, I want to wish you a happy new year. Today, I want to share with you a groundbreaking resource that I've been working on for the last couple of months. I will be walking you through all the innovative features, stress tests, and demonstrating its framework compatibility. What started as a mere concept has now materialized, and I'm happy to introduce to you the Complete Vehicle System 3.0, a system that will redefine how you, as a player, will engage with vehicles within your role-playing world. So without further ado, let's move into the features. This resource introduces a revolutionary system allowing you to park your vehicle anywhere on the map. Server-sided database data retention ensures your vehicle remains intact even after a server restart. Vehicle spawning and syncing works through our system, so you can have hundreds of vehicles parked outside. Keep in mind though that optimizing your imports is necessary to avoid client-sided issues. Keep note that our system supports all kinds of vehicles, from boats to helicopters, planes, and even trailers. Also, the server you're seeing on screen is loaded with 9,000 vehicles. Public garages support categorized vehicle types per garage. You may have more than one category per garage. An example would be bikes and cars being together. Also, these garages have an hourly rate fee and a flat fee. All the options are changeable through the config. As previously said, our resource supports individualized or connected garages for all the types of vehicles, all configurable through the config. Now here's an example into the config. You can create any kind of garage for civilians or any specific job. This includes custom fees, different types. The config was made to be manipulated into any way possible. Now moving towards private garages. They are shell based and they are purchased by the player. You can drive inside the garage and park as many vehicles as space allows you to. You can change the shells for each garage individually through the config. You can have different tiers of private garages. Keep in mind that our resource only provides one shell, which is free, in FiveM's forum. Lastly, you can give up to 5 keys for people to join. These are saved into the database, which makes this a popular choice for groups. Keep note that whitelisted jobs through the config, such as police, can raid these garages. Last but not last, for parking and vehicle storage, keep in mind that this resource saves the state of the vehicle at all times. That includes lock state, deformation, damages and parts. Lastly, both public and private garages support job-based accessing. Next up, we have vehicle impounding. With this system, impounding vehicles becomes a personalized experience. Authorized jobs can set reason, fees and lock the vehicle till further notice. Vehicle owners can find their impounded vehicles at the closest impound location. They can read all relevant data set by the officer. Keep in mind that when unimpounding your vehicle, you will receive it at its last state. Lastly, this system supports different categories, such as boats, planes, anything you can imagine, all changeable through the config. Our resource introduces an extensive insurance system tailored for various categories. Fees are dynamically calculated based on the original price of the vehicle. This is changeable and can be set to a flat fee through the config. Keep in mind that the insurance system was created to respawn a lost or exploded vehicle. Now let's move into trackers, a feature that will impress you. I've spent many hours giving depth into trackers alone, so I will be dividing this into two parts. Let's start with radio towers. By default, there are 36 radio towers scattered around the map, and they are used to connect to your vehicle tracker and show you all relevant information. Radio towers have a proximity and a signal strength. The tracker will always select the stronger signal for you. There are two types of trackers, basic and advanced. Basic trackers will only offer a blip of the vehicle, whereas an advanced tracker has the option to be renamed and include various modes to select from. Take note that both tracker types have different signal strengths and can be changed through the config. Based on the signal strength, the approximate location will be shown. If the vehicle is out of proximity, then it will show the last known location until it reconnects back to a signal tower. You can set a waypoint towards any vehicle that has an installed tracker. It will set the location of the blip, not the actual location. Advanced trackers, on the other hand, come with two extra modes, emergency and stolen mode. Upon activating these modes, all emergency personnel on the server may see the tracker on their map. Therefore, go and investigate. Keep in mind that if the vehicle is out of proximity, it will only show the last known location. Keep note that trackers for each vehicle category has its own respective blip. They range from automobiles, to bikes, to boats, helis and planes. Now, moving towards the lock system. Our resource includes 4 ways for locking and unlocking your vehicle. Firstly, we have a unique item-based lock system that requires metadata. You may have unlimited amount of keys for the vehicle. and spread them around any player or any inventory. Second, we include a command and item based lock system. Give vehicle keys with commands and have up to 5 people who have access to the vehicle. It is the same method as the previous one you've seen in the private garages. Third, job vehicle based lock system. You can have any job vehicles to be shared. You only need to set the job type of the vehicle, and therefore you can have them shared across all policemen as an example. Lastly, a temporary vehicle lock system. This was created for you to have access to vehicles where you do not own them and should not have keys after a server restart. You need to call an export and send the plate of the vehicle. Once the export has been called correctly, you will have access to the vehicle even after relogging. These are reset after a server restart. The lock system includes a basic hot wiring method, which will get reworked into the near future. Currently, if you do not possess keys for the vehicle and the engine is turned off, you will need to hotwire the vehicle. You can speed up the process by spamming the accelerator, with a slight chance of the vehicle catching on fire and exploding. All values can be changed throughout the config. Now let's move into vehicle parts. I will be dividing this into 3 sections. Firstly, you can check all vehicle data by using our command. The resource keeps track of all vehicles on the server, both owned and NPC. It always ensures that the data is synced across all players. We also include a crash system that is accompanied with the vehicle parts. The crash system detects what kind of crash you've had and divides it into a small and a big crash. It then deducts stats accordingly. Keep in mind that you can change crash levels through the config. Now onto the part system itself. Firstly, every vehicle has an internal oil temperature. The oil temperature will fluctuate based on the vehicle's condition and your driving style. So in case of an emergency, you need to drive slowly and with care. Keep in mind that you need to do regular oil changes. The resource keeps always track on how many miles you've drove, so you can view your next oil change. Except from mileage and oil related features, we do feature in-depth parts. All parts have a maximum health of 1000. The lower they get, the more the side effects towards your vehicle. Now let me show you in depth the side effects. The engine is responsible for producing horsepower. The worse the condition it is, the slower the vehicle. Be mindful that a severely damaged engine may cause the vehicle to overheat on high RPMs. So drive with care if you have a bad engine. Brakes help with slowing down or stopping a vehicle. The more wear your brake discs have, the lower the friction, thus making your vehicle harder to stop. Tires are crucial for maintaining grip on the road. As they wear down, the level of grip they provide decreases, making the vehicle harder to control. Severely worn tires also pose a risk of popping. A gearbox is responsible for transmitting power from the engine to the wheels. A slightly damaged gearbox might lead to confusion with your gears, while a severely damaged gearbox may render your vehicle unable to shift gears at all. A damaged radiator or catalyst pose a risk of the vehicle overheating. When coupled with bad oil, these issues can lead to severe engine damage, potentially causing the engine to blow out. Additionally, a damaged catalyst not only increases the risk of overheating, but also results in higher fuel consumption. The axle plays a crucial role into the vehicle steering. However, as the axle wears down, it significantly impacts the ease of it. A heavily worn axle makes steering increasingly difficult, affecting the vehicle's handling. The vehicle's battery serves as a critical power source. When it's worn out, it can cause the radio to change stations unexpectedly and make the vehicle's light blink.
Nobody is. It's such a... They're walking into the middle distance and acting like you're constipated. It's...
The fuel tank serves as a storage reservoir for the vehicle's fuel supply. However, when the fuel tank sustains heavy damage, it can lead to fuel leakage. Lastly, it's crucial to allow the vehicle's internal temperature to warm up before subjecting it to heavy stress. If high RPM is reached before the engine reaches its optimal temperature, there's a risk of causing severe damage and potentially blowing out the engine. When it comes to repairing your vehicle, we provide a range of options for your convenience. You have the choice to opt for a complete vehicle repair or focus on specific parts. Additionally, we offer the option to address deformation exclusively. In the code you're observing, I'm calling an export function that retrieves the vehicle's parts array. This data is then utilized to display the information on the server's mechanics resource. Now let's witness the code in action within the game environment. I've spawned two vehicles for demonstration purposes. One for showcasing the complete fixing process and the other one specifically to demonstrate fixing individual parts. Our resource incorporates a Despawn Check feature, ensuring that your vehicle will return to its previous state in case of a deletion. The check is managed server-sided, guaranteeing the restoration of your vehicle to its original state. Additionally, our resource incorporates embedded Discord logs, offering a wide range of functionalities. These logs capture every action performed by the resource, extending to include errors and warnings. Here's a glimpse of how these logs appear directly within Discord. Keep in mind that all webhooks were set to the same channel, as this is for my test environment. Moving on to developer commands and debugging tools, our resource provides an array of debugging options, accessible through the config. Some of the in-game commands include /tpv, this command teleports you directly to the specified vehicle. /temp keys grants temporary access to a vehicle until the server restart. /add vehicle adds a vehicle owned by you at your current position. And /parts debug to inspect the vehicle's parts in real time. Furthermore, we're continuously expanding our suite of developer tools, with a complete rework planned in the future as we announce significant updates. When it comes to dependencies and compatibility, our system was crafted to function as a standalone entity, aiming to minimize reliance on any particular framework. Presently, we offer support for QBCore, ESX, and QBox. It's important to note that if you intend to utilize the item-based Locksystem, your chosen inventory must support metadata. We currently support QB inventory and OX inventory. For users employing a custom framework, the setup process involves configuring the database connection, identifiers, jobs, and money through our specially designed .lua files. It's important to note that our resource only dependency lies in Polyzone. Regarding optimization, extensive effort has been invested to ensure the resource scalability to accommodate thousands of vehicles. Presently, the resource maintains an idling performance ranging between 0.0 and 0.01 ms. with occasional spikes on both client and server ends. It's important to note that while the resource can handle a substantial number of vehicles, the more vehicles you incorporate, the more space and milliseconds in processing power it will require. Each vehicle is loaded onto an array. This array provides specialized information into other neighboring arrays, which are sorted with our custom algorithm. This ensures that you always have the best optimized version of this resource. Now let's conduct a stress test. I've placed 5,000 vehicles across the map, parked and set into the air to make them easily visible. This test will allow us to observe the impact of its extensive number of vehicles into the game. Additionally, it's important to consider that issues may initially surface for clients, as the game gradually runs out of memory. Now you may be asking on fitting this onto your server. We've created many exports and events to ensure the connectivity and easiness for you to incorporate it into any kind of framework. We have detailed documentation and videos on how to install and manipulate the resource for your own needs. So transferring this resource into your own server will take some changes, but we provide you with all the appropriate tools for it. Lastly, our resource comprises of around 10,000 lines of code, with 500 lines encrypted. The encrypted section primarily handles vehicle spawning and synchronization. The remaining code is open for you to edit, allowing you the freedom to modify it as needed. Moreover, despite the encryption, all necessary exports are available for seamless interaction with the encrypted sections, ensuring comprehensive access and functionality for developers. So finally, after 30 minutes, we're at the end. Look guys, we are dedicated into shaping the future of role-playing experiences. This resource represents countless hours of commitment, marking the beginning of a comprehensive foundation. Join us as we build an entire framework around this innovation. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and see you soon. I'm out.